Ciao a mia famiglia di Facebook. Tonight we dine on gnocchi made with ricotta and spring greens, in this case, Swiss chard. Succulent and toothsome, nutritious and versatile, spring greens offer so many possibilities in the kitchen. They're cherished like a homegrown tomato in the summer, and like a fig picked right off of your tree, or as in the legend of my grandfather Nicola Buono, a fig picked off of somebody else's tree. But that's a story maybe for later. Spring greens emerge from the ground, triumphantly announcing that springtime is here and there's hope. And that's something that we need right now. Let's get to it. So, in this case, this year I've got lots of Swiss chard, but in years past I've had broccoli rapa, some arugula. I have a little arugula, but we're gonna pick a bunch of spring. How much to pick? In this case, a pound to a pound and a half, it would be great. If you don't grow a garden, and I do recommend you grow a garden, find some chard, find some spinach, do a mixture of it. And we're gonna bring these into the house. I'm gonna fill up my basket, and then we're gonna clean them, and then we're gonna prepare our gnocchi. So now that we have cleaned these thoroughly, and as you saw, remove the rib in the middle of the Swiss chard, we're gonna cook it down, and then we're gonna chop it, and then we're gonna squeeze out all the extra moisture. So here is about a pound and a half Swiss chard, steamed. Now we're chopping it up, and this is gonna go into making our gnocchi. Let's now mix together these gnocchi. We have the Swiss chard. I squeezed them out an extra time. We have 2 cups of very good ricotta, and then we have the rest of the ingredients. I'm gonna let Fiore put it together.
So now we're gonna add 1 cup of flour, 2 teaspoons of salt, 3 tablespoons of Reggiano Parmigiano,
Brava!
a couple tablespoons of fresh mint, and 2 eggs, 2 beaten eggs. And now mix it all together.
Oh yeah. So I'm gonna post also this recipe from Casa Fiore. You're gonna notice that the Parmesan cheese, Reggiano Parmigiano, and the mint is not included, but I saw this beautiful mint coming up in my garden, and I thought, that and a little Parmesan, that's gonna add a little bit of extra jazz on the top of this dish. All right, now we're gonna form these guys. We're gonna delicately roll them up into oblong little gnocchi. And you can see what we have here. I put a little flour on top. I've got a little bowl here to keep my hands floured. And then we're gonna set them on this tray. And then we're gonna boil them. So while they're boiling, we're gonna prepare a beautiful sage butter to put on top. I've got about 20 sage leaves fresh from the garden and some nice butter. We've added them in boiling water. They boil for about 5 minutes, and they're rising to the top. Once they rise to the top, give them about 30 more seconds, and then you pull them out. Ti presento gnocchi with spring greens and ricotta. Check it out. We've got this nice butter and sage on top, mint inside. Fiore, let's put a little extra cheese on top and let's check it out. What do you think?
That is so good.
Oh, they're lighter than you think, and they're beautiful. And remember, spring has sprung. This is emblematic of the hope that emerges out of the dark winter of the Pacific Northwest. And I hope that you're gonna emerge like a phoenix into what lies ahead during these tough times. Thank you for joining Casa Fiore's Cucina. Ciao. You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go. I always wanted to do that. For all you Generation Xers, all you Ferris Bueller fans, had to do that. You're here for the story, right? Okay, let me tell you a story about the fig trees and about my grandpa. My grandpa Nicola Buono came from Bari, Italy. He was one of the most joyful and fun guys to be around. That dude knew how to party. He knew how to eat, he knew how to sing, he knew how to drink, and he was always full of joy. There are many stories of how he found joy in other people's fig trees. My father, when he was new to the family, one time, Grandpa Rossetti and Pop, Nicola Buono, came to him and said, "Fiore, tomorrow, we're going to go pick some figs." My dad said, "Great, that's great. My schedule's pretty clear. Where are we going to go?" He said, "Oh, we're going to go I'll wake you up in the morning." So 4 in the morning, "Fiore, we're going to go." My dad said, "Why are we going at 4 in the morning?" "Oh, it's the best time to pick them. It's the best time." They got in the truck. They went out to this place. They went out to that place. My dad's like, "Do you know these people?" Oh yeah, it's okay. Mrs. Butterworth said it's okay. You can take a fig." I always laughed about that because I thought about these poor people. I don't know if Pop knew them. I don't know if he did know them. I don't know if he didn't know them, but he knew their figs. He knew where to find them, and he knew when to go there, and he knew where to get them. And I always thought it was funny until it happened to me. Many years ago, I was a teacher, as a lot of you know, and I would come back during this time of year, and I would look out into my garden, and I could see the spring greens coming up. And I was very proud of it, and I would talk to my grandfather, Nicola Buono, on the phone. "Pop, oh yeah, I have some beautiful broccoli rapa, some beautiful charred spinach all coming up." "Oh yeah, I'll share some with you, Pop. Definitely I'll share some with you." I was very excited to share some with him. And I would walk out every day out and look over my garden when I got back from teaching, and I could see it coming up, becoming more and more vibrant and full. I had this beautiful stand of Swiss chard. I had gnocchi with ricotta and Swiss chard in mind for this stand of beautiful spring greens. And one day I came in, I was getting close to picking that Swiss chard. I looked out over my garden, and something was awry. Something was wrong. And I looked out. My spring greens were gone. They were all, what happened? They disappeared. And then I realized I had been figged by my grandfather, Nicola Buono. He came in and he cleaned me out. He cut them all down to the ground and took every last shred of my beautiful Swiss chard. So careful that you don't get figged by Nicola Buono.